So here's my question for you today. Do you get angry? And if you do, well, good, because it means that you're experiencing one of the four basic human emotions that we're born with, fear, anger, sadness, and happiness, right? So we are born to experience all of those things at different times, all of the time. So if you're experiencing anger and if you're expressing your anger, then that's a good thing. Here's the thing, here's where it comes down to stress relief. So if you're watching for the first time, it's Amarjot here. Excuse my bunged up throat and voice. I've got a cold, but I still want to share this with you because I think it's important. And when it comes to stress relief and anger, so anger isn't good for us over the long term. Anger isn't good for us if either we're living in it, like it's always with us in every reaction, or we're not expressing it at all. Like I spent a long time not expressing my anger for the things I actually felt angry about, and then my anger would erupt in the most strange ways. And so it's not that I didn't get angry, but I wouldn't get angry about the real things that I was angry about. So it's okay to be angry, okay? It's okay to be angry when someone's done you wrong and, you feel like someone's done something that in your eyes has hurt you, has upset you. It's okay to be angry, but do you express it? And then do you let go of it? So if we're holding on to that anger, I always think that if it's prolonged anger, if we're experiencing it again and again, then it's usually a cover story for something else. Like, is there something going on underneath? Like, maybe it's a fear, maybe something you were hurt by someone or in a situation you felt hard done by and it didn't work out the way you wanted it to. So there's a fear of it happening again, and so anger is a great cover story for stopping it from happening again and just getting angry before things get to a point where they might be repeated. Or low battery, or it could be a cover story for sadness. Really, you're grieving about something, or you're sad about something that did or didn't happen. So what's that prolonged anger really about? And this kind of came to me because I was reading something by Dr. Gary Chapman, who writes the 5 love languages. On a side note, if you want to know what your love language is to have a better relationship, then go do that questionnaire, the 5 love languages with Dr. Gary Chapman. And it's really interesting how, we just accept love in different ways, and it's just about understanding that. And but he was talking about anger, and he's talking about how there's 2 different types of anger. Definitive anger, so when someone has wronged us, and distorted anger, like when things didn't go our way. So a lot of the time he's saying we're experiencing distorted anger. If we're always experiencing that anger, over time that's going to stress us out. It's going to impact how we sleep, how we respond to situations. It's going to feel like we only have one perspective on things, and it's going to physically impact our health. And because we're releasing more and more cortisol, the stress hormone, into our body when we're experiencing anger. So it's about the balance, right? So I loved what he said here. Anger was never meant to be a resident. It was always meant to be a visitor. So if anger's a visitor in your life, cool. That's what it's there for. The same as sadness and happiness. It's not that easy to be happy all the time, but we can experience it, and it's okay to experience it a lot of the time. And fear is there as a natural human instinct. But if these things are always there, then they're not good for us, right? So if they're resident in us, then that's a clue that maybe we should do something about it. We don't have to do anything, but maybe we could do something about it that helps us live happier and healthier. So what can you do? Maybe you can ask yourself these questions. Maybe it's about, okay, what was that anger about? Did I actually get angry, and did I express that anger? If I expressed that anger, was it relative to what happened in that situation? If it wasn't, what could it be a cover story for? Is it about noticing the patterns around your anger? So is it about, does it happen with the same person or the same people or the same environment or the same situations? Does it happen with everything? If it does, cool, notice it and say, okay, how can I do this differently? What else could be happening here? What am I pretending not to know? That's always a really cool question to ask yourself. What am I pretending not to know? And as always, what do I need to give myself permission for? This is not about giving yourself a hard time. So another clue as to where we're not used to dealing with our anger and just letting it go is if you, how you feel after you expressed your anger. So if you feel embarrassed about maybe having an outburst, if you feel like you shouldn't have said something and you're kind of apologizing for yourself, then ask yourself, where did that anger come from? That could be another clue. And is it always there? What do you want to do about it? How could you do things differently? Those are just some of the questions. There's so many other ways that you could deal with it. But get to know it. Get to know your anger. Is it definitive? Has someone wronged you and you want to say they've wronged me? Or is it distorted? Things didn't go my way. Is it immediate or is it prolonged? Is your anger a visitor or is your anger a resident? And the resident is the one we don't want. So, and I think that goes for anything that, you know, where you're not feeling good. If it's resident in you, then have a look at why. And I hope that's useful from a stress relief perspective. We can live a happier and healthier life, and it's okay to feel all of those things. So I'm going to leave you to your evening, and I will speak to you soon. Amarjot, over and out. Bye.